Dear Aries and those with Aries rising, what would you think if I told you that you've reached the final page of an invisible cycle that has changed the last 2 years of your life? Perhaps you've been wondering why some doors have closed, why some people have silently left your life, why some plans have been constantly postponed. Well, now you're about to begin to receive the answers to all those questions. Because the North Node lunar eclipse, which will take place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces in your 12th house, is not just a full moon effect, but the final scene of the story that fate has been weaving for the past 2 years. I especially recommend watching this video to the end, because even one of the details I will explain may help you understand an important development you will experience in the coming months. If you enjoy following the guidance of the sky, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Now, let's look together at what surprises this powerful eclipse will bring to your life. Dear Aries, this eclipse is taking place in your 12th house. In astrology, the 12th house represents the unseen, the subconscious, spiritual transformation, hidden events, behind-the-scenes processes, closures, and karma. Therefore, the developments you experience will be felt not only in the external world, but most of all in your inner world. Over the past 2 years, you have unknowingly grown, matured, and left behind many old thought patterns. Perhaps you didn't feel this every day, but now, looking back, you will realize you are not the same person. This eclipse will show you this. North Node eclipses lead people to a new path of destiny. It's impossible for the new to come without letting go of the old. Therefore, for some Aries, a period may come to a complete end. A long-standing uncertainty may end. A matter you've been waiting for an answer to for months may become clear. An issue that has constantly occupied your mind may lose its importance. People may quietly leave your life. You may part ways with some people naturally. No one may fight, no one may be bad, but life may begin to flow in different directions. Perhaps you've been working in the same job for a long time, but you no longer feel your soul belongs there. Perhaps you've been in the same group of friends for years, but you realize you've run out of things to talk about. Maybe you're only in a relationship out of habit. This eclipse might tell you it's time to let go, because sometimes life wants to lighten old burdens to bring in new happiness. The 12th house is also the house of healing. The hurts, disappointments, and soul-crushing events you've experienced in the last 2 years may now begin to heal. Perhaps you'll finally be able to forgive someone you haven't been able to forgive for years. Perhaps the anger you feel towards yourself will end. Perhaps you'll stop constantly dwelling on an event from the past. True freedom is sometimes not about external events changing, but about the lightening of internal burdens. One of the most striking aspects of this eclipse is that Mercury in Virgo, located in your 6th house, is in conjunction with the Sun and in opposition to the eclipse. This aspect suggests that you need to establish a strong balance between your daily life, work routine, health issues, colleagues, responsibilities, and your subconscious. Lately, you may have been constantly working, trying to keep up with everyone, or you may have overexerted yourself. The sky is reminding you that resting is just as important as producing. Imagine an Aries who gets up early to rush to work, attends meetings throughout the day, and is still working at their computer when they get home in the evening. Because they're constantly rushing, they don't notice the signals their body is giving them. They ignore headaches, neglect sleep, and consider rest a luxury. This eclipse might tell them, slow down a bit. Because without a healthy body, no success is permanent. For some of you, important conversations may arise in the workplace. A meeting with your manager could change your future. You might be offered a new position. One of your colleagues might leave. You might move to a different department. Your daily routine might change completely. Even if this change makes you uneasy at first, you will eventually understand that it is necessary for your development. The conjunction of Mercury and the Sun increases mental awareness. You might suddenly find the right idea for a problem you've been struggling with for a long time. Perhaps you'll develop a new system to increase productivity at work. Perhaps you'll start a training course you've been putting off for years. Perhaps you'll change your diet, start exercising, and feel much stronger both physically and psychologically a few months later. Another significant indicator of the eclipse is the T-square aspect between Uranus, which is transiting Gemini in your third house, and this eclipse. Uranus is the planet of unexpected developments, surprising news, sudden decisions, and liberation. The third house represents communication, education, siblings, close relationships, short trips, contracts, and technology. Therefore, an unexpected phone call could change the course of your life. An email could bring a new opportunity. Someone you haven't seen in years might contact you. An important development related to your sibling could occur. Changes in the lives of those close to you could also affect you. For example, you might receive a job offer from a city you never considered. A short trip you took could lead you to meet new people. A course you attended could lead you to meet people you will work with in the future. Sometimes fate opens big doors with small coincidences. Uranus does exactly that. It brings the unexpected. However, T-square aspects first create some pressure to motivate people to act. Therefore, you may experience a busy work life, deal with a family issue, and make many mental decisions all in the same day. While it may seem chaotic at first glance, this process is actually a transition period preparing you for your new life. Some Aries may experience major innovations in technological fields. You may seize an important opportunity through social media. A digital project may begin. Educators may gain new students. Writers, content creators, salespeople, or those working in the communication sector may achieve unexpected success. Uranus can sometimes allow a single post to reach thousands of people. The spiritual aspect of this eclipse is very strong. Your dreams may intensify. Your intuition may increase. You may find that some of your gut feelings during the day turn out to be correct. Sometimes you won't want to go somewhere. Then you'll realize you avoided a big problem by not going. Sometimes you'll sense whether someone is trustworthy the moment you meet them. Your inner voice will be your strongest compass during this period. Over the past 2 years, you may have been very patient. You put in the effort, but you didn't see the rewards immediately. Sometimes you wondered, am I wasting my time? Well, the North Node eclipses can bring the rewards of your efforts, albeit with a delay. Especially Aries who are developing spiritually will see new doors opening for them during this period. Because sometimes the universe first matures a person, then gives the reward. Significant realizations may also occur in your love life. Hidden feelings may surface. Some of you will leave behind platonic feelings. Some of you will completely let go of the burden of a past relationship. Aries in relationships may begin to speak more openly and honestly with their partners. Expressing the feelings you've kept inside can strengthen your relationship. For single Aries, the process is to first close the past, then prepare for a new beginning. New chapters cannot be opened until old ones are closed. In financial matters, careful planning becomes important. Mercury in Virgo highlights details and may help you notice unnecessary expenses. Perhaps seemingly small savings will provide great comfort in the coming months. Perhaps your income model will change because your work schedule has changed. Learning new skills can increase your earnings in the long run. Some quiet changes may also occur within the family. Responsibilities related to elders may come to the forefront. Long unspoken issues may be discussed, past grievances may heal. Sometimes a single sincere conversation can lighten the burden of years. Remember, dear Aries, this eclipse is not a period to be feared, but a time to prepare for. Because after every closed door, a new window opens. Every ending story is a harbinger of a new beginning. People leaving your life, ending processes, or changing arrangements may upset you at first, but a few months later, when you look back, you will realize that everything has led you to a better place. The sky wants you not to lose your courage. You are one of the pioneering signs of the Zodiac, one that knows how to fight and manages to get back on its feet. This eclipse will remind you of your inner strength. To the extent that you let go of the burdens of the past, lighten your spirit, and confidently accept the new path of destiny, your life will begin to change rapidly. Ahead of you lies a crucial threshold that will shape not just a few weeks, but the next 2 years. Listen to your heart, trust your intuition, and don't underestimate the signs that come your way, because sometimes fate silently initiates the greatest changes. Thank you for watching our video. If this interpretation gave you hope and you found a part of yourself in it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Aries or have Aries rising. May the light of the sky illuminate your path, and may all the changes brought by the eclipse bring you health, peace, abundance, and happiness. Until we meet again in the next horoscope interpretation, stay with love and hope. Dear Taurus, and those with Taurus rising, you are entering a very important period where the dreams you've built, the efforts you've made, and the plans you've made for the future over the past 2 years will now be judged by fate. Perhaps you've been wondering for a long time, I'm trying so hard, but why am I not getting the results I want? Perhaps you've struggled to understand why some friendships ended, some projects were delayed, and some goals were constantly postponed. Now the sky is preparing to give you the answers to all these questions, because the North Node lunar eclipse, which will take place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, is occurring in your 11th house, and this is no ordinary eclipse. This eclipse indicates that it's time to reap the rewards of events that have been quietly growing in your life for the past 2 years. I especially recommend watching this video to the end, because even one of the details I will explain may reveal a key to an important development you will experience in the coming months. If you want to regularly follow the messages of the sky and learn how eclipses and planetary movements affect your life, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's explore together what doors this powerful eclipse will open for those born under the Taurus sign and with a Taurus rising sign. Dear Taurians, this eclipse is taking place in your 11th house. In astrology, the 11th house represents future goals, hopes, social circles, friendships, teamwork, organizations, digital platforms, and support received from people. It is also one of the areas where our long-term dreams begin to come true. Therefore, over the next few weeks, not only your social life, but also your perspective on the future may begin to change. You will realize which of the dreams you have had in the last 2 years are truly yours, and which are merely goals you created to please others. Sometimes a person can chase the wrong dream for years. This eclipse is working powerfully enough to show you what you truly want. North Node eclipses are times when destiny moves forward. Therefore, instead of clinging to the past, you need to trust in the future. You may have met new people in the last 2 years. Some inspired your life, while others exhausted you. Now, with this eclipse, true friends and temporary relationships will begin to separate. People who value you will become more firmly established in your life, while those who only seek ulterior motives or drain your energy may naturally distance themselves. These separations may upset you at first, but over time you will understand that it is a significant cleansing. Perhaps you've been in the same group of friends for years, but conversations no longer bring you the same enjoyment. Maybe you've grown while your circle has remained stagnant, or conversely, while you fear change, the people around you have started moving in different directions. This eclipse could introduce you to new people, a connection you make at a seminar, a training session, a business meeting, or through social media could change the course of your life in the future. Great opportunities sometimes come through unexpected encounters. The 11th house also represents projects and teamwork. If you've been working on a project for a long time, you may start to see the results. Perhaps a presentation you've been preparing for months will finally be accepted. Perhaps the content you've been working on for a long time on social media will reach a wider audience. Perhaps you're planning to form a partnership, and now your paths will cross with the right people. The sky is telling you your efforts weren't in vain. One of the most important indicators of this eclipse is the opposition between Mercury, which is conjunct the Sun in Virgo in your fifth house, and the eclipse itself. The fifth house represents love, children, creativity, hobbies, performing on stage, and personal talents. You may need to strike a balance between your circle of friends and future plans on one hand and what your heart truly desires on the other. You may have to choose between the expectations of your social circle and your own happiness. Perhaps everyone wants you to act rationally, but you want to listen to your heart. For example, while your friends advise you to stay in a secure job, you may want to start your own business. Or while your environment tells you to continue a relationship, you may realize that you are no longer happy. The influence of Mercury and the Sun in Virgo gives you the power to analyze events, while the Pisces eclipse allows you to hear your heart. True happiness is sometimes measured not by logic, but by peace of mind. Significant developments may also occur in your love life. Taurus individuals in relationships may discuss future plans with their partners. Topics such as living together, marriage, having children, or joint investments may come to the forefront. Single Taurus individuals may meet someone new through their circle of friends. Perhaps feelings for someone you've known for years will change. Sometimes the strongest relationships are built on friendship. For Taurus individuals with children, there may be good news related to their children. Developments related to education, success, or happiness may come to the forefront. Those without children may start a new hobby, discover their creative side, or return to artistic projects they've long put off. Your desire to create is significantly strengthened. Another noteworthy point of the eclipse is that Uranus, progressing in Gemini in your second house, forms a T-square aspect pattern with this eclipse. Uranus is the planet of surprises, sudden changes, and liberation. The second house is related to money, earnings, financial security, possessions, and our sense of self-worth. Therefore, you may experience unexpected developments in financial matters. Your income may increase, a new source of income may open up, or your working style may change completely. However, Uranus sometimes first shakes up the established order, then establishes a more solid system. For example, you may have been working for the same salary for many years. A different offer might come your way suddenly. What initially seems risky could bring you much greater profits in the coming months, or you could start earning extra income from the digital world. Selling online, providing training, offering consultancy, or creating a new income model through social media might be possible. Uranus can bring surprising opportunities, especially in technology-related fields. However, T-square aspects also teach you an important lesson. It can show you that you shouldn't rely on a single source for your financial security. Many Taurus individuals may turn to diversifying their income during this period, taking new courses, acquiring different skills, and investing in the future will provide you with great advantages in the long run. The second house also represents self-worth. Perhaps for years you haven't valued yourself enough. Perhaps you've always waited for the approval of others. This eclipse can teach you that true value comes from within, not from without. As your self-confidence increases, both your relationships and your financial life will begin to change positively. Let's consider a small example from real life. A Taurus who has worked at the same company for many years feels that despite always doing more, they don't receive the recognition they deserve. One day, someone from their social circle offers them a different job opportunity. At first, they hesitate because leaving their familiar routine isn't easy. But when they dare to take the step, their income increases and they feel happier. This eclipse could write similar stories for many Tauruses. In another example, let's consider a Taurus who has been creating content on social media for a long time. Initially, very few people follow them. They consider giving up many times, but they continue to create. With this eclipse, their work begins to become visible, their follower count increases, and unexpected collaborations come their way. Because the 11th house supports the growth of projects that have been worked on, there may also be positive developments in family life. Joint decisions about the future may be made. Buying a house, making investments, or creating long-term financial plans may come up. Advice from older family members can be particularly helpful during this period. However, it will be important to consider your own needs when making the final decision. The spiritual message of this eclipse is quite powerful. Don't be afraid of the size of your dreams. Over the past 2 years, you've often wondered, can I do it? Now the sky is telling you, keep trying. Because North Node eclipses guide people onto their destiny. Sometimes this requires letting go of old fears. Sometimes it requires trusting new people. And sometimes it requires accepting your own potential. Your intuition will be very strong during this process. You may feel the need to start a project. A new friendship may feel very familiar. Listen to your inner voice when evaluating certain offers. Your intuition, as well as your logic, will show you the right direction. In the coming months, many Taurus individuals may make decisions that will reshape their future. Some will enter a new environment, some will experience a significant leap in their careers, and some will take the first concrete step towards a dream they've cherished for years. It may not all happen overnight, but this eclipse will give you the first major sign that will put you on the right path. Remember, dear Taurus, you are the sign of patience and stability. You progress slowly but steadily, and the sky is preparing to reward you for that. You may begin to reap the rewards of every right step you've taken in the past 2 years. New people entering your life, opportunities that arise, and changing financial circumstances are preparing you for a stronger future. Embrace the new with courage instead of clinging to the past, because sometimes fate offers its most beautiful gifts when we least expect them. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of my video. If this commentary inspired you and resonated with you, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Taurus or have a Taurus rising sign. May the guidance of the heavens illuminate your path, and may the August 28th lunar eclipse bring you abundance, peace, the right people, and realized dreams. Until our next commentary, stay with love, hope, and health. Dear Gemini and those with Gemini rising, are you ready for a major turning point that will change the direction of your life? Perhaps the day has come when you will reap the rewards of a long-term effort. Perhaps a success you've dreamed of for years is about to knock on your door, or perhaps an unexpected offer will change your entire life plan. This powerful lunar eclipse on August 28th is no ordinary celestial event. This eclipse will be a fateful turning point that will bring before you the results of every step you've taken, every effort you've made, and every decision you've made in the last 2 years. Therefore, I especially recommend watching this video to the end, because even one of the details I will explain may help you understand the developments you will experience in the coming months in advance. If you want to regularly follow the guidance of the sky and learn how eclipses and planetary movements affect your life, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now, let's examine together which doors the North Node lunar eclipse, which will take place at 4 degrees of Pisces, will open in your life. Dear Gemini, this eclipse is taking place in your 10th house. In astrology, the 10th house represents career, profession, social status, success, titles, goals, leaders, and the outward manifestation of our lives. It's also the area where years of hard work become visible. Therefore, you may experience significant developments in your career, work life, and social standing in the coming weeks and months. Whatever you've struggled for, whatever you've been patient about, whatever goals you've worked hard to achieve in the last 2 years, you can now begin to reap the rewards. This eclipse is telling you it's time to show yourself. North Node eclipses are powerful periods when destiny moves forward. Therefore, a new chapter may open in your life. Some of you may receive a promotion, some may start a new job, and some may finally achieve the success they've long awaited. Developments, especially in the career field, can change not only your job but also your lifestyle, because eclipses in the 10th house reshape a person's identity in society. Perhaps you've been working with great dedication at the same company for years. Everyone appreciates your work, but you just can't seem to reach the position you deserve. This eclipse could bring about the rewards for those pent-up efforts. Your managers might notice you. The promotion you've been waiting for might come. Your salary could increase, or you might receive a completely unexpected offer. This seemingly small change could take your career to a completely different level within a few years. Some of you might even consider starting your own business. The entrepreneurial idea you've harbored for so long could finally take concrete steps. A digital project, consulting service, training, social media work, or a commercial venture could grow faster than you expect, because the 10th house represents not only your current job, but also your life mission. However, this eclipse also has an important opposition. Mercury, conjunct the Sun in Virgo in your 4th house, is in opposition to the eclipse. The 4th house represents family, home life, roots, parents, the past, and inner peace. While your career may want to grow on one hand, your family responsibilities may take center stage on the other. You may need to strike a crucial balance between work and personal life. For example, a new job offer might come from another city. It could be a great opportunity for your career, but it might require you to be away from your family. Or because your work is demanding, you might not be able to dedicate as much time to your home as before. Your children, spouse, or parents may expect more attention from you. This is where the sky teaches you to strike a balance between success and peace. True success is not just about advancing in your career, but also about being happy with your loved ones. The influence of Mercury in Virgo can also bring important decisions regarding home matters. Moving, buying a house, renovations, developments concerning elderly family members, or the resolution of long unaddressed family issues seem possible. Some of you may have an important conversation within the family, and a long-standing problem may be resolved amicably. One of the most striking effects of the eclipse is the T-square aspect formed by Uranus, which is progressing in your 1st house. Uranus is the planet of surprises, sudden changes, liberation, and unexpected developments. The 1st house represents your personality, body, appearance, outlook on life, and new beginnings. Therefore, in the coming period, not only external conditions, but also you will begin to change. Perhaps you will suddenly make a decision you haven't dared to make for years. You might change your appearance, get a new education, adopt a different lifestyle, or embark on a completely new career path. Uranus is telling you to break free from old patterns because your past identity may have started to feel restrictive. Let's consider an example from real life. A Gemini who has been doing the same job for many years actually wants to work in a much more creative field. However, they don't dare to leave their comfort zone. One day, they receive an unexpected offer. At first, they are scared because everything seems uncertain. But when they take this step, they become both happier and reach a much stronger financial position. This is how Uranus sometimes frightens, then liberates. Another example could apply to Geminis who want to be visible in the public eye. Perhaps you will start creating content on social media. Perhaps you will give a training, organize a seminar, or create a new platform to share information with people. These small endeavors, which start small, can turn into a great success story in the coming months. T-square aspects can initially create intense pressure. You may need to make important decisions in your professional life, take care of your family, and plan your own future all at once. At times, you might think, how am I going to manage everything? But this intensity isn't meant to exhaust you, it's meant to help you grow. Because sometimes life increases responsibilities before preparing you for great success. One of the best aspects of this eclipse will be that it will make the hard work of the last 2 years visible. You may have considered giving up many times in the past 2 years. You put in the effort but didn't get results. You worked hard but went unnoticed. Now, the sky is preparing the reward for your patience. There are particularly strong opportunities for Gemini individuals who work diligently, improve themselves, and continue to learn. Positive developments may also occur in financial matters. Career changes could increase your income level. Your financial gains may rise along with new responsibilities. Some of you may start new projects that will provide additional income. Unexpected opportunities seem particularly strong for Gemini individuals working in technology, education, media, communication, and digital fields. In your love life, due to career intensity, you may need to pay attention to time management with your partner. Geminis in relationships may make future plans together. Marriage, moving, or shared goals may be discussed. Single Geminis may meet someone new in their work environment or in a career-related organization. It seems possible that the person who enters your life will support you both mentally and emotionally. This eclipse will also strengthen your self-confidence. Thanks to Uranus in the first house, how you feel about yourself will become more important than how others see you. Perhaps you will make a change you've been putting off for years, switch to a new style, or make bold decisions in your life. People will notice your change because the transformation in your inner world will also be reflected in your outward appearance. Spiritually, you may experience important realizations. You may understand that career success alone does not bring happiness, and you can re-establish your life balance. You may want to spend more time with your family, spend quality time with loved ones, and experience success together with peace. This is the real message of the eclipse. While rising in the outer world, don't neglect your inner world. Remember, dear Gemini, you are the sign of change. Your openness to new ideas, your ability to learn quickly, and your adaptability to different circumstances are your greatest strengths. This eclipse will reward precisely these abilities. New doors are opening before you. Some will be much bigger than you expect. Life is asking you, are you ready? If you move forward with courage, you can achieve significant success in your career, social status, and personal development over the next 2 years. All the experiences of the past 2 years have brought you to your current strong position. Now it's time to step onto the stage, make your voice heard, and reap the rewards of your hard work. Trust yourself, don't be afraid of change, and courageously seize the opportunities that come your way. Because sometimes fate can completely change a person's life with a single decision. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of my video. If this commentary inspired you and you found important messages for yourself, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Gemini or have a Gemini rising sign. May the guidance of the heavens illuminate your path, and may the August 28th lunar eclipse bring you success, peace, abundance, and all the good things you deserve. Until our next horoscope reading, stay well, with love, hope, and good health. Dear Cancer and those with Cancer rising, sometimes the biggest events that change a person's life begin silently. A phone call, a travel decision, an educational opportunity, or unexpected news. And then, looking back, you say, that day everything changed. The North Node lunar eclipse, occurring on August 28th at 4 degrees Pisces, could be just such a turning point. This eclipse is not just a celestial event, it's a powerful gateway to destiny that will bring the tangible results of your efforts, decisions, experiences, and lessons learned over the past 2 years. I especially recommend watching this video to the end because even one of the details I'll explain could help you understand an important development you'll experience in the coming months before it even happens. If you enjoy following the guidance of the sky, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's look together at the opportunities, changes, and pleasant surprises this powerful eclipse will bring for those with Cancer Sun and rising signs. Dear Cancerians, this lunar eclipse is taking place in your 9th house. In astrology, the 9th house represents long journeys, foreign countries, education, university, academic studies, legal processes, official procedures, relationships with foreigners, belief systems, life philosophy, and our perspective on life. Therefore, the developments you will experience in the coming period will not be limited to your city or work life. You may experience events that will broaden your horizons, bring you new people, new information, and new experiences. Everything you have learned in the last 2 years is now preparing you for a completely different future. North Node eclipses are times when destiny moves forward. Therefore, you need to focus on the future, not the past. In the last 2 years, you may have been patient in many areas. Some of you received education, improved yourselves, learned foreign languages, or tried to acquire a new profession. Some of you dealt with lengthy official procedures. Some of you dreamed of going abroad but constantly faced obstacles. Now the sky is preparing to reward all these efforts. You might receive a visa approval you've been waiting for, your education application might be accepted, you might achieve academic success, or a long-awaited legal matter might be resolved positively. For some Cancer individuals, this eclipse could truly open a new door in life. Perhaps an opportunity to live in another city or country will arise. Initially, this idea might both excite and move you emotionally because you are a sign that doesn't easily want to leave your familiar routine. But sometimes the most beautiful gifts life has in store for you wait just outside your comfort zone. This eclipse can show you how taking courageous steps can open big doors. Let's give an example from real life. Imagine a Cancer who has lived in the same city for many years. They dream of working abroad many times but can't bring themselves to leave their family. Finally, they receive an unexpected job offer. At first, they wonder, can I do it? But a few months after accepting, they realize they made one of the best decisions of their life, both financially and emotionally. This eclipse can bring similar fateful opportunities your way. Another example could be in the field of education. Perhaps that master's or specialist training you've been putting off for years might come to the forefront. Maybe a new certificate program could take you to a completely different level in your profession. A seemingly small training course could become the most important step in your career a few years later. So don't underestimate the learning opportunities that come your way. One of the important indicators of this eclipse is that Mercury, which is conjunct the Sun in Virgo, in your third house, is in opposition to the eclipse. The third house represents communication, conversations, correspondence, siblings, close environment, education, short trips, contracts, and business negotiations. You may need to strike a balance between your big goals and your future on one hand, and the hustle and bustle of daily life on the other. For example, you may need to prepare a lot of documents for an important educational or job opportunity. You may be constantly on the phone corresponding with official institutions. Some of you may sign contracts, hold meetings for new projects. Since Mercury is in Virgo, details are of great importance. Read the documents carefully before signing, pay attention to the dates, and don't rush into communication. A small detail could provide a great advantage in the future. Developments related to siblings or close relatives may also come to the fore. You may reconnect with someone you haven't seen in a long time. An old resentment may be resolved amicably. Sometimes a single sincere conversation can bridge years of distance. This eclipse offers the opportunity to solve many problems through communication. One of the most striking effects of the eclipse is the T-square aspect pattern formed by Uranus in Gemini in your 12th house. Uranus represents sudden changes, liberation, and unexpected developments. The 12th house describes the subconscious, spiritual transformation, hidden events, closures, and processes working behind the scenes. Therefore, you may experience a great change within yourself rather than through events in the outside world. Perhaps you will realize that a matter that has frightened you for years is not as big as you thought. Perhaps you will finally be able to leave behind a past disappointment. Perhaps you will begin a psychological or spiritual healing process that you have been constantly postponing. Uranus here represents mental liberation. Thought patterns that have limited you for years may be broken. Let's consider another example from life. A Cancer who constantly fears failure avoids applying for jobs for years because of this fear. When they finally muster the courage to take the first step, they realize that the biggest obstacle is actually their own fears. That's exactly what Uranus does. First, it shakes you up, then it sets you free. This T-square aspect can sometimes create mental intensity. On the one hand, you need to make important decisions, while on the other hand, some fears from the past may resurface. But remember, this pressure is not to stop you, but to strengthen you, because great changes often begin within ourselves. The spiritual message of this eclipse is very powerful. Your beliefs may change, your perspective on life may mature. You may realize that events that used to upset you no longer have the same effect, because the experiences you've had in the last 2 years have made you a much wiser person. You now look at things from a broader perspective. Positive developments are also possible in financial matters. A new educational opportunity or a job opportunity in a new city could increase your income. Those working in international businesses, education, law, publishing, media, and tourism are particularly well supported. Some of you may achieve significant gains from collaborations with foreigners. In love life, long-distance relationships may come to the forefront. Single cancers may meet someone new during travel or in an educational setting. Those in relationships may make plans for the future together, decide to live in a different city, or set shared goals. Sharing dreams can further strengthen your relationship. In your family life, while you may want to venture far away, the support of your loved ones will boost your morale. The moral support you receive, especially from your mother or father figures, can help you make courageous decisions. You are always a sign that acts with your loved ones in mind. This eclipse shows you that you can find a middle ground that will make both yourself and your loved ones happy. Your dreams may be striking during this period, your intuition may strengthen, your inner voice may guide you to the right people and the right opportunities, especially when you're struggling to make decisions. Try to act not only with your logic, but also with your heart. Because this eclipse in Pisces greatly strengthens your intuition. Remember, dear Cancerians, you are a sign that acts with emotions but also possesses incredibly strong intuition. Every event you've experienced in the last 2 years has prepared you for your current maturity. Now the universe is telling you it's time to spread your wings. A new country, a new education, a new worldview, new people, or a brand new career path. Whichever of these enters your life, it will carry you to a happier and stronger future. This eclipse brings a change that you should embrace with confidence, not fear. The efforts you made in the past were not in vain. Every step you took, every piece of information you learned, and every experience you had prepared you for where you are today. Now a much wider horizon is opening up before you. Look at life with hope, continue to learn, and courageously seize the opportunities that come your way. Because sometimes fate can change a person's entire life with a single journey, a single education, or a single decision. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If this commentary inspired you and resonated with you, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your loved ones who are Cancer or have a Cancer rising sign. May the guidance of the heavens illuminate your path, and may the lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th bring you new opportunities, good news, success, peace, and all the beautiful things you desire. Until our next horoscope reading, stay with love, health, and hope. Dear Leos and those with Leo rising, sometimes the biggest changes in our lives don't begin in plain sight, but in unseen areas. A signature, unexpected news about money, a debt settled, an inheritance matter resolved, or the sudden easing of emotional burdens you've carried for years. The North Node lunar eclipse, occurring on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, describes exactly such a turning point. This eclipse is no ordinary full moon. A very important door of destiny is opening, where you will finally see the tangible results of the events you've experienced, the struggles you've faced, the patience you've shown, and the steps you've taken over the past 2 years. Perhaps you've wondered on some nights, why isn't all this effort paying off? Maybe financial matters have tired you out at times. Maybe you've seen the true faces of people you trusted. Or maybe life has taught you to share, trust, and transform. Now, the sky is telling you it's time to reap the rewards of your labor. That's why I especially recommend watching this video to the end, because even one of the details I'll explain could help you understand the important developments you'll experience in the coming months. If you enjoy following the guidance of the sky, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's explore together what doors this powerful eclipse will open for those born under the Leo sign and with Leo rising. Dear Leos, the North Node lunar eclipse, which will take place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, is occurring in your 8th house. In astrology, the 8th house represents shared income, spouses' earnings, inheritance matters, loans, banks, taxes, insurance, investments, debts, alimony issues, and most importantly, psychological transformation. It is also one of the areas where the biggest changes in our lives occur. It is the house where an old identity ends and we are reborn as a completely different person. Therefore, you may experience radical changes in your life, both materially and spiritually, in the coming weeks. In the last 2 years, you may have gone through significant tests, especially regarding money, trust, sharing, and commitment. Perhaps you made a joint investment, perhaps you took out a loan, or perhaps you experienced processes related to inheritance or property sharing within the family. Some of you have had to change your financial arrangements due to developments related to your spouse's job. Others have struggled more with shared resources than with your own income. Now, this eclipse may bring the results of all these processes to the forefront. North Node eclipses are important times when fate moves you forward. Therefore, instead of focusing on past financial difficulties or losses, you should start seeing new opportunities. A payment you've been waiting for may arrive. A long-standing lawsuit may be resolved favorably. A process related to banks may be settled. You may receive news you've been waiting for regarding insurance, compensation, premiums, or inheritance. For some of you, the closing of a long-standing debt may provide great relief. Let's consider an example from real life. A Leo who has been paying off a mortgage for a long time, struggling with their budget every month. Just when they are about to lose hope, they receive an unexpected lump sum payment and pay off a large part of their debt. Or an inheritance case that has been unresolved for years finally comes to a conclusion. This eclipse may bring similar relieving developments for many Leos. However, the 8th house isn't just about money. It's also the house of spiritual transformation. Perhaps you'll finally be able to leave behind an event you haven't been able to forgive for years. Perhaps you'll get rid of the fears that constantly drag you down. Perhaps the anxieties you've had about trusting others will end. This eclipse offers you a great opportunity for liberation, not only financially, but also emotionally. One of the most striking indicators of this eclipse is the opposition between Mercury, which is conjunct the Sun in Virgo in your 2nd house, and the eclipse itself. The 2nd house represents personal income, earnings, self-worth, and financial security. You may need to strike a significant balance between your own earnings and shared income and resources. For example, you may need to create a joint budget plan with your spouse. You might make a major investment decision. Buying a house, changing cars, or making a long-term investment may come up. Since Mercury is in Virgo, calculating, examining details, and acting strategically will give you a great advantage. Leos who evaluate options instead of making hasty decisions may come out of this process much more profitably. Let's consider another example from real life. A Leo who runs their own business has long wanted to grow but lacks sufficient capital. During this eclipse period, a strong partner may emerge or they may make a new investment with bank support. This step, which may seem risky at first, could take their business to a much bigger level within a few years. This is because the 8th house, when managed correctly, also represents significant financial growth. The conjunction of Mercury and the Sun in Virgo also indicates that you can develop new ideas to increase your income. Perhaps you will launch a new product, create a different investment model, or a talent you haven't utilized until now will open new avenues of earning. The sky offers you the opportunity to strengthen your financial security if you act more consciously. The third important indicator of the eclipse is the T-square aspect that Uranus, progressing in Gemini in your 11th house, makes to this eclipse. Uranus is the planet of unexpected developments, sudden changes, technology, and liberation. The 11th house represents your circle of friends, social media, teamwork, projects, and future goals. Therefore, surprising news from your social circle could directly affect your financial life. Perhaps a friend will offer you a new business partnership. Maybe you'll stumble upon an unexpected job opportunity through social media. Perhaps someone you met at an event will open a big door for you in the future. Uranus loves to bring people together with the right people at the right time. However, T-square aspects can initially create pressure. While you need to make financial decisions, conflicting opinions from your social circle may confuse you. Some will tell you to take risks, others will advise you to wait. This is where you need to use both your logic and your intuition. Instead of believing everything you hear, doing your own research is the best approach. For some Leos, significant changes may occur in their circle of friends. True friends and those who only have transactional relationships may become separated. In the last 2 years, you will see much more clearly who is truly by your side. People who support you will remain in your life, while those who only contact you when it suits them may naturally distance themselves. Although this may seem sad at first, it will actually create space for new and higher quality relationships in your life. The transformative effect is quite strong in love life as well. Leos in relationships may have important conversations with their partners about financial matters. Joint investments, plans to buy a house, or decisions that will shape their future together may come to the fore. Single Leos may meet someone new through their circle of friends. The bond you form with this person may not only be romantic, but also based on trust and shared goals. Spiritually, this eclipse may teach you the most important lesson about trust. Perhaps for years you thought you had to do everything alone. Perhaps you didn't want to be a burden to anyone, but life sometimes teaches you to seek support from the right people. Asking for help is not a weakness. Learning to trust is also an important part of growth. In terms of health, stress management becomes important. Instead of creating unnecessary anxiety, especially regarding financial matters, acting in a planned manner will relieve you. Regular sleep, balanced nutrition, and taking time for mental rest will strengthen both your body and soul. One of the best aspects of this eclipse is that the transformation you have experienced in the last 2 years is now beginning to bear fruit. Perhaps past losses have opened the door to new opportunities. Perhaps a failed partnership has led you to build a stronger business. Perhaps a relationship that ended helped you understand your true worth. Today, looking back, you'll realize that every event you experienced prepared you for the strong you are today. Dear Leos, remember that you are one of the bravest, most creative, and strongest signs of the zodiac. But true strength isn't just about shining on stage. True strength is about not losing hope, even when going through difficult times. This eclipse will show you exactly that. Your financial life may be reshaped, your partnerships may strengthen, and you may look to the future with more confidence. Courage will replace your fears, and clarity will replace uncertainty. You have an important period ahead of you that could affect not just a few weeks, but the next 2 years. Therefore, carefully evaluate the opportunities that come your way. Act consciously in financial matters, collaborate with the right people, and don't be afraid to leave the burdens of the past behind. Because sometimes the greatest blessings in life begin to enter our lives the moment we let go of the past. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If this reading gave you hope and resonated with you, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your loved ones who are Leo or have a Leo rising sign. May the guidance of the heavens illuminate your path, and may the lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th bring you abundance, prosperity, powerful transformations, peace, and all the beautiful things you desire. Until the next horoscope reading, stay with love, health, and hope. Dear Virgo, and those with Virgo rising, sometimes life-changing events don't begin with great fanfare, but with a single conversation, a single signature, a single encounter. A person enters your life and your future changes completely, or a relationship, partnership, or collaboration you've maintained for years takes on a new dimension. Perhaps a long-awaited offer finally arrives and you say, "This is the moment I've been waiting for." The North Node lunar eclipse, occurring on August 28th at 4 degrees Pisces, describes exactly such a powerful turning point. This is no ordinary lunar eclipse. It initiates a period where events that fate has been preparing for you for the past 2 years will become visible. You will reap the rewards of your efforts, and you will make very important decisions in your relationships. If you've ever wondered why certain people entered your life, why certain doors closed, or why certain matters were constantly postponed, this eclipse will begin to answer all those questions. Therefore, I especially recommend watching this video to the end because even one of the details I will explain could help you understand important developments you will experience in the coming months. If you want to regularly follow the guidance of the sky, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's examine together what doors this powerful eclipse, which will take place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, will open for those with Virgo sun sign and Virgo rising. Dear Virgos, this eclipse is taking place in your seventh house. In astrology, the seventh house represents marriage, long-term relationships, partnerships, contracts, legal matters, clients, and all important one-on-one relationships. It is one of the most important houses that describes the balance between I and we in our lives. Therefore, you may experience fateful changes in your relationships, partnerships, and the people who enter your life in the coming weeks and months. You may begin to reap the rewards of the efforts you have put into the field of relationships over the past 2 years. While bonds built on solid foundations strengthen, relationships that no longer serve you may naturally come to an end. North Node eclipses are important celestial events that guide people on their path of destiny. Therefore, the people you will meet in the coming period may not be ordinary. Some may affect the rest of your life. For single Virgos, a serious relationship may begin and an engagement or marriage decision may come to the fore. Those in relationships may solidify their future plans together. Some of you may start a family, while others may receive a long-awaited marriage proposal. If your relationship is built on solid foundations, this eclipse will strengthen it even further. However, relationships aren't just about love. Business partnerships, consultancies, client relationships, and commercial agreements will also be under the influence of this eclipse. Virgos who run their own businesses may gain new clients. A long-awaited partnership may finally become official. A contract may be signed, or a significant collaboration that will expand your business may begin. Connections you've made in the last 2 years may now begin to bear fruit. Let's consider a real-life example. A Virgo who has been working alone for many years constantly tries to do everything themselves. They get tired but can't trust anyone. During this eclipse period, they meet an expert in their field and they decide to work together. Although they are hesitant at first, over time, their workload decreases and their income increases. This eclipse can show you how important it is to join forces with the right people. Another example can be seen in your love life. A Virgo who has been single for years meets someone introduced by a friend. This seemingly ordinary meeting eventually develops into a serious relationship. This is because North Node eclipses sometimes work by bringing the right person into your life at the right time. One of the most striking indicators of this eclipse is that Mercury, conjunct the Sun in Virgo in your first house, is in opposition to the eclipse. The first house represents your personality, appearance, approach to life, and new beginnings. On one side, there is you. On the other side, there are your relationships. Therefore, you will need to strike an important balance between the questions, what do I want, and what does the other person expect from me? Perhaps you have always tried to make others happy. You have constantly made sacrifices. You have put your own needs second. This eclipse reminds you that you also need to value yourself. A healthy relationship is one where both parties are happy. Constantly being the giving party can tire you out over time. Now is the time to establish balance. Thanks to Mercury's influence in Virgo, your communication skills are greatly enhanced. Conversations with your partner, business associate, or clients can resolve many issues. Long unspoken matters may be clarified. Misunderstandings may be resolved. Virgos who communicate openly and honestly will particularly benefit from this process. Some of you may want to make changes to your appearance. You might create a new style, pay more attention to your health, or develop lifestyle habits that make you feel better, because the first house also represents self-worth. As you invest in yourself, how others perceive you will begin to change. The third important indicator of the eclipse is the T-square aspect pattern formed by Uranus in Gemini in your 10th house. Uranus represents sudden changes, technology, surprising developments, and liberation. The 10th house is related to career, social status, success, managers, and goals. Therefore, unexpected developments may occur in your career. You may receive an unexpected job offer. You may experience a change of duties. There may be a significant restructuring in the institution you work for. These developments, which may surprise you at first glance, can enable you to build a much stronger career in the long run. For example, let's consider a Virgo who has been working in the same position for years. One day, their manager offers them an unexpected responsibility. At first, they are scared because this task involves much more responsibility. However, after accepting, they experience both an increase in income and a major leap in their career. Uranus works exactly like this. First, it changes the established order. Then it helps people reach their true potential. For some of you, a career change may also affect marriage or partnership decisions. A job opportunity may arise in a new city. You may need to move due to your spouse's job. You may need to make new arrangements in your relationship due to work intensity. T-square aspects can create pressure initially, but this pressure comes to help you grow. Life sometimes guides people towards their true path by creating changes in several areas at once. This eclipse can also bring positive results in financial matters. New partnerships and new clients in particular can increase your income. Career advancements can strengthen your financial security. However, since Mercury is in Virgo, carefully reading contracts, reviewing details, and acting strategically are crucial. Positive developments may also occur in your family life. You may make plans for the future with your partner. Issues such as buying a house, moving, making investments, or expanding the family may come to the forefront. Single Virgos may begin a serious relationship that will gain their family's approval. Long-awaited happy news may bring joy within the family. The spiritual aspect of this eclipse is also quite strong. You have learned a great deal through relationships over the past 2 years. You have seen more clearly who is truly there for you and who is only interested in self-interest. You have experienced some disappointments, but these have made you a more conscious person. You can now analyze the people around you better and set healthier boundaries. This eclipse may bring the reward for all this learning process. Let's consider another example from real life. A Virgo has constant problems with a business partner they've been working with for years, but they continue the relationship to maintain order. During this eclipse, paths diverge. At first, this frightens them, but soon they meet a much more reliable and professional partner. Their income increases, their stress decreases, and looking back, they realize how exhausting the old routine actually was. Sometimes endings open the door to more beautiful beginnings. Dear Virgos, the most important message of this eclipse is this: the people who enter your life are not coincidental. Every relationship you've had in the last 2 years has prepared you for your current maturity. Some taught you love, some patience, and some setting boundaries. Now, fate is offering you a new period where you can build much stronger relationships. Trust yourself, communicate openly, and don't completely close your heart, because sometimes life's best opportunities come precisely when you think you've lost hope. In the coming months, many Virgos will make important decisions in their relationships, careers, and personal development. These decisions will shape not only today, but also the next 2 years. You are a sign that can see details, plan, and proceed patiently. Now, these qualities will give you a great advantage. Don't be afraid of change, because this eclipse is not coming to make you lose something, but to lead you to your true happiness. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If this commentary gave you hope, if you found important messages for yourself, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Virgos or have a Virgo rising sign. May the guidance of the heavens illuminate your path, and may the lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th bring you strong relationships, fruitful partnerships, success, peace, and all the beautiful things your heart desires. Until we meet again in the next horoscope commentary, stay with love, health, and hope. Dear Libra, and those with Libra rising, sometimes the biggest changes in our lives don't happen with applause, but quietly within our daily routines. The time you wake up changes, your work environment changes, the people you work with change, your perspective on your health changes, and one day you look back and realize that your whole life has taken a different direction. The North Node lunar eclipse, occurring on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, describes exactly such a turning point. This is no ordinary eclipse. It's a very important celestial event where you will begin to reap the tangible results of the hard work, patient efforts, challenges, and lessons learned over the past 2 years. Perhaps you've been wondering for a long time, when will I be able to relax? When will I reap the rewards of my labor? Maybe you're exhausted from your work life. Maybe you've put your health second. Maybe you've neglected yourself while constantly trying to keep up with others. Now, the sky is offering you a powerful opportunity to establish a new order. I especially recommend watching this video to the end, because even one of the details I will explain could help you understand today the important developments you will experience in the coming months. If you want to regularly follow the guidance of the sky, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now, let's examine together what doors this powerful North Node lunar eclipse, which will take place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, will open for those with a Libra sun sign and Libra rising. Dear Libras, this eclipse is taking place in your 6th house. In astrology, the 6th house represents daily life, work environment, colleagues, the service sector, work routine, responsibilities, health, nutrition, sports habits, and quality of life. It is also one of the most important houses, showing how the habits a person repeats every day shape their future. Therefore, the developments you will experience in the coming weeks may change not only your work life, but also your lifestyle. You may begin to reap the rewards of the work you have put in over the last 2 years, experience significant changes in your work life, and enter a new period where you will feel much healthier, more peaceful, and more balanced. North Node eclipses are times when fate moves people forward. Therefore, you may need to leave the old order and switch to a new system. Perhaps you've been working in a job that's been exhausting you for years. You wake up reluctantly in the morning, feeling no excitement going to work. Maybe you're constantly working overtime and can't find time for yourself. This eclipse could give you the message that life isn't just about work. Some of you may start a new job, some may experience a change of role, and some may receive the promotion they've been waiting for. The discipline and patience you've shown in the last 2 years may finally be rewarded. Let's consider an example from real life. A Libra who has been working at the same company for a long time is not satisfied with their job, but doesn't dare leave due to habit. Just when they've lost hope, they receive an unexpected phone call. They have a job interview and find an opportunity where they can work more peacefully and develop themselves. At first, the change scares them, but a few months later, they realize they made one of the best decisions of their life. This eclipse could bring similar new beginnings for many Libras. Since the 6th house also represents health, you may begin to hear the messages your body is giving you more clearly. You can get those checkups you've been putting off for so long, change your diet, start exercising, or develop new habits that will improve your quality of life. These seemingly small changes can leave you feeling much stronger, both physically and mentally, in just a few months. One of the most striking indicators of this eclipse is the opposition between Mercury, which is conjunct the Sun in Virgo in your 12th house, and the eclipse itself. The 12th house represents the subconscious, the spiritual world, hidden events, the past, closures, and processes unfolding behind the scenes. While you may want to organize your daily life on one hand, on the other hand, Some emotions, fears, or unresolved issues from the past may resurface. Perhaps a matter that has been occupying your mind for years will finally be resolved. Perhaps you will decide to let go of a burden that has been weighing you down. The conjunction of Mercury and the Sun in Virgo strengthens your intuition and increases your mental awareness. You may hear your inner voice more clearly. Your dreams may be noteworthy. You may suddenly look at a long-standing issue from a different perspective. Pay attention to the ideas that come to you, especially when you are alone, because during this period, the most accurate answers may come from within, not from outside. Let's give another example from real life. Imagine a Libra who constantly makes the same mistake. They are always trying to please others, exhausting themselves because they cannot say no. A small event during this eclipse teaches her that she needs to set boundaries. Sometimes real change doesn't begin in the outside world, but in one's own way of thinking. The third important indicator of the eclipse is the T-square aspect that Uranus, transiting Gemini in your ninth house, makes to this eclipse. Uranus is the planet of surprises, technology, liberation, and sudden changes. The ninth house represents foreign countries, long journeys, education, academic studies, legal processes, publishing, and life philosophy. Therefore, an unexpected educational opportunity, a project with international connections, or a job offer from a distant city could change the direction of your life. Perhaps an opportunity will arise for a country you've long wanted to visit. Perhaps you'll take an online course that will open a new door in your career. Perhaps you'll start working for a foreign company or collaborate with people from different cultures. Uranus loves unexpected developments and often brings people together with opportunities they never imagined. However, T-square aspects can initially create pressure. While your professional life changes, educational or travel plans may also come to the forefront. You may need to reorganize your daily routine. At first, it may feel like everything is changing at once, but remember, this intensity is not to exhaust you, but to prepare you for a stronger future. This eclipse may particularly increase the use of technology in the workplace. Digital projects, remote work models, online education, and jobs conducted over the internet may come to the fore. If you're open to self-improvement, Uranus may offer you unexpected career opportunities. You may also experience positive developments in financial matters. New job opportunities may lead to increased income. Your work routine may change, and you may establish a more efficient system. Libras who are disciplined, plan, and improve themselves will begin to reap the rewards of their efforts in the coming months. In your love life, you may question whether you're spending enough time with your partner due to the busy daily routine. Libras in relationships may decide to establish a more structured life together. Exercising together, eating healthy, or setting shared goals can strengthen your relationship. Single Libras may meet someone new at work, during education, or in their daily routines. Sometimes life's most beautiful encounters happen when you least expect them. Positive developments may also occur in your family life. New arrangements may be made, especially regarding the sharing of daily responsibilities. The support you receive from family members can lighten your burden. You are a sign that always strives for balance. This eclipse offers you the opportunity to establish a much healthier balance between work, family, and personal life. You may also experience a great spiritual cleansing during this period. People, habits, and thoughts that have been tiring you out for the past 2 years may gradually be left behind. You will no longer want to maintain a routine that doesn't do you good. You may begin to make choices that make you feel more peaceful. Sometimes, what changes a person's life isn't big decisions, but small habits they repeat every day. This eclipse perfectly illustrates this. Let's consider one last example from real life. A Libra who has been working irregularly for many years constantly feels tired and can't find time for anything. During this eclipse period, they decide to make small changes. They go to bed earlier, take regular walks, change their diet, and restructure their work plan. 6 months later, their health improves, their work performance increases, and they can dedicate more time to their social life. Sometimes, the sky changes a person's destiny, not with big events, but with the right habits. Dear Libras, remember that you are the sign of balance, harmony, and justice. The experiences of the last 2 years have taught you what is truly important. Now the sky is inviting you to a more peaceful, productive, and healthy life. Don't neglect yourself. Listen to your body, make choices that are good for your soul, and don't be afraid of change. Because this eclipse is not coming to force you, but to improve your quality of life. Ahead of you lies a very important period that could affect not just a few weeks, but the next 2 years. Your work life, health, daily routine, and lifestyle habits may be reshaped. If you take courageous new steps, are open to learning, and value yourself, this eclipse can offer you far greater opportunities than you expect. Remember, sometimes fate can completely change a person's life with a single decision, a single education, or a single new habit. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If this commentary gave you hope and you found important messages for yourself, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Libra or have a Libra rising sign. May the guidance of the heavens illuminate your path, and may the lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th bring you health, success, peace, abundance, and all the beautiful things your heart desires. Until we meet again in the next horoscope commentary, stay with love, health, and hope. Dear Scorpio and those with Scorpio rising, sometimes life's biggest surprises come precisely when you're starting to lose hope. A long-awaited love, the recognition of a talent you've cultivated for years, joyful news about your child, or a brand new beginning that will bring renewed excitement to your life. The North Node lunar eclipse, occurring on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, is opening the door to exactly such a period. This is no ordinary lunar eclipse. You are at a crucial turning point where you will finally reap the rewards of your experiences, efforts, and patience over the past 2 years. Perhaps until now you've wondered, why is everything delayed? Why can't I achieve the happiness I desire? Maybe you postponed some dreams, gave up on some relationships, or put your talents in the background. But now the sky is preparing to smile upon you again. I especially recommend watching this video to the end, because even one of the details I will explain may help you understand the important developments you will experience in the coming months before they even happen. If you enjoy following the guidance of the sky, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's explore together what doors this powerful North Node lunar eclipse, taking place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, will open for those born under the sign of Scorpio or with a Scorpio rising. Dear Scorpios, this eclipse is happening in your 5th house. In astrology, the 5th house represents love, romantic relationships, children, creativity, hobbies, artistic endeavors, performing on stage, entrepreneurship, and everything that excites the heart. It is also the house of happiness, joy of life, and the inner child. Therefore, more joy, excitement, and inspiration may enter your life in the coming weeks. You may begin to reap the rewards of the efforts you have put in over the past 2 years, especially in your love life, matters related to children or personal projects. North Node eclipses are special times when fate guides a person onto a new path. Therefore, the developments you will experience in the coming period will not be just temporary events. Some may form the foundation of the next 2 years. For single Scorpios, a very special encounter may occur. What initially seems like an ordinary meeting could eventually develop into a serious relationship. You may experience feelings your heart hasn't felt in a long time. If you are in a relationship, you can make new decisions together and take your relationship to the next level. Plans for engagement, marriage, or having children may come to the forefront. Let's consider a real-life example. A Scorpio who has been focused solely on their work for a long time has completely put love on the back burner. They reluctantly attend an event, invited by a friend, and meet the love of their life there. Initially, they think it's just a casual conversation, but over time they realize that this meeting holds a very important place in their destiny. This eclipse can bring similar, beautiful encounters. For Scorpios who already have children, there may be positive developments. You may receive news that will make you proud, such as successes in your child's education, opportunities to showcase their talents, or other such positive events. Supportive influences may also be at play for those who want to have more children. Of course, these matters depend on individual circumstances, but the sky carries symbols that support the desire to expand the family and developments in this area. The fifth house also represents creativity. Perhaps you'll start writing a book you've been putting off for years. Maybe you'll find the courage to paint, get involved with music, create content on social media, or start your own business. If you have a talent that has been waiting to be discovered until now, this eclipse can make it visible. Everything you've learned in the last 2 years can now be transformed into production. One of the most important indicators of this eclipse is that Mercury, which is conjunct the Sun in Virgo in your 11th house, is in opposition to the eclipse. The 11th house represents friendships, social circles, teamwork, projects, and future goals. You may need to strike a balance between what your heart desires on one hand and the expectations of your environment on the other. Perhaps your friends will tell you to choose a safe path, but you will want to pursue a different dream. Perhaps your social circle will offer different opinions about a relationship, but your own heart will give the best answer. Since Mercury is in Virgo, you will be able to make logical analyses, but the eclipse in Pisces reminds you that you should also listen to your intuition. Let's consider another example from life. A Scorpio who has long wanted to start their own business keeps postponing their decision because of people around them saying, "Don't take risks." During this eclipse, they meet the right people and start a new project together. This venture, which starts small, eventually turns into a much greater success than they expected. Because sometimes a person's greatest luck is meeting the right people with the same goal. The conjunction of Mercury and the Sun also indicates that you can reorganize your social circle. True friends and those who only have relationships for their own gain can be separated. While your bonds with people who truly support you strengthen, those who drain your energy may naturally leave your life. Although this process may seem sad at first, in the long run, it will bring you a much more peaceful social environment. The third important indicator of the eclipse is the T-square aspect pattern formed by Uranus in Gemini in your 8th house. Uranus represents surprises, liberation, sudden changes, and unexpected developments. The 8th house describes shared income, inheritance matters, loans, investments, spouses' earnings, taxes, and psychological transformation. Therefore, you may experience significant changes both financially and emotionally. You might receive an unexpected payment. A long-awaited loan may be approved. There may be new developments in your joint investments. Some of you may receive positive news regarding your spouse's work. Others may experience great relief by paying off long-standing debts. Uranus always works unexpectedly. Therefore, you need to be open to surprises. However, T-square aspects can initially create pressure. You may need to balance love and happiness on one hand and financial responsibilities on the other. For example, you may need to make financial plans while starting a new relationship. Or you may have to consider your future while making a significant expenditure for your child. These pressures are not meant to scare you, but to help you make more sound decisions. The 8th house also represents spiritual transformation. The disappointments you experienced in the last 2 years may no longer affect you as much. You may learn to trust, share, and ask for support when needed. Old fears you carried within may begin to be replaced by stronger self-confidence. In financial matters, joint investments, insurance, banking transactions, and long-term plans become particularly important. Since Mercury is in Virgo, carefully examining details, reading contracts, and making accurate calculations will be a great advantage. Scorpios who act strategically rather than making hasty decisions can benefit greatly from this period. In terms of career, you can seize important opportunities through your social network. You may start a new job on a friend's recommendation or experience a major career leap thanks to someone you met at an organization. There are particularly supportive influences for Scorpios who work on digital platforms, create creative projects, and communicate with people. In your family life, more happiness and sharing may take center stage. You can have enjoyable gatherings with your loved ones and put long delayed vacation plans into action. You may remember again that life is not just about work. Taking time for yourself, being with people who make you happy, and pursuing your hobbies will nourish your soul. The spiritual message of this eclipse is very powerful. You are one of the most transformed signs of the zodiac. Every event you've experienced in the last 2 years has matured you a little more. Now you know much better what you want, what you deserve, and which people should stay in your life. Now the sky is teaching you to smile again, to be excited again, and to dream again. Let's consider one last example from life. A Scorpio who has lived with constant responsibilities for many years never takes time for themselves. During this eclipse, they restart an old hobby. This process, which begins with a small step, eventually brings both new friendships and new job opportunities. Because when a person turns to areas where they are happy, life begins to open new doors for them. Dear Scorpios, remember that this eclipse brings you not only new opportunities, but also the rewards of the past 2 years. Don't be afraid to listen to your heart. Don't give up on loving, creating, sharing, and dreaming, because you have a crucial period ahead of you that will shape not just a few weeks, but the next 2 years. The people who enter your life, the projects that begin, and the emotional developments you experience can carry you to a completely different future. The sky is telling you this. Happiness is not a coincidence. It is the result of courageous steps taken at the right time. During this period, trust the guidance of both your heart and your intuition. Because sometimes fate can change a person's entire life with a single encounter, a single idea, or a single courageous decision. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If this commentary gave you hope and you found important messages for yourself, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Scorpio or have a Scorpio rising sign. May the guidance of the sky illuminate your path, and may the lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th bring you true love, creativity, abundance, powerful transformations, and all the beautiful things your heart desires. Until we meet again in the next horoscope commentary, stay with love, health, and hope. Dear Sagittarius and those with Sagittarius rising, sometimes life-changing events don't begin with career success, but with the peace you feel when you return home. Sometimes it's holding the keys to a new house. Sometimes it's good news from your family. Sometimes it's getting rid of emotional burdens you've carried for years that changes your entire future. The North Node lunar eclipse, occurring on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, describes just such a powerful turning point. This is no ordinary eclipse. A very important door of destiny is opening, where you will begin to reap the rewards of the events you've experienced, the efforts you've made, and the decisions you've taken over the past 2 years. Perhaps lately you've been thinking, why is my life constantly changing? When will I truly find peace? When will the uncertainties regarding my family, home, and work end? If you've experienced these thoughts, know that the sky is preparing to open a brand new chapter for you. I especially recommend watching this video to the end, because even one of the details I will explain could help you understand the important developments you will experience in the coming months. If you want to regularly follow the guidance of the sky and learn how eclipses and planetary movements affect your life, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's examine together what doors this powerful North Node lunar eclipse, which will take place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, will open for those with Sagittarius sun sign and rising sign. Dear Sagittarians, this eclipse is taking place in your 4th house. In astrology, the 4th house represents family, home, roots, past, parents, real estate, living space, and the areas where one feels safe. It also describes our spiritual foundation and inner peace. Therefore, the developments you will experience in the coming weeks and months will not only be about where you physically live, it will also reshape where you feel you belong, the family structure you have established, and your sense of security for the future. The developments you have experienced within your family, the struggles you have faced regarding your home, and your experiences related to your roots in the last 2 years may now begin to yield concrete results. North Node eclipses are one of the most important celestial events that guide a person on their path of destiny. Therefore, with this eclipse, it may be possible to change houses, move, buy a new house, sell a house, make important decisions within the family, or resolve long-standing family issues. Some of you may decide to live in a new city. Some of you may buy the house you've dreamed of for years. Others may have very important conversations that will strengthen relationships with family members. Let's consider an example from real life. A Sagittarius who has been renting for many years has been working hard for the last 2 years to become a homeowner. They experience disappointment many times, unable to find the house they want. Just when they are about to lose hope, an opportunity perfectly suited to their budget appears, and they finally realize their long-held dream. This eclipse can bring similar concrete results for many Sagittarians. In another example, family relationships may come to the forefront. Long-standing resentments with parents or siblings may finally be left behind. Perhaps a topic that hasn't been discussed for years will finally be openly discussed, and everyone will feel relieved. Sometimes a single sincere conversation can lift the burden of years. This eclipse in Pisces supports forgiveness, empathy, and heartfelt communication. One of the most striking indicators of this eclipse is the opposition between Mercury, which is conjunct the Sun in Virgo in your 10th house, and the Sun. The 10th house represents career, social status, success, leaders, and long-term goals. You may need to strike a significant balance between your family and personal life on one hand and your work life on the other. You may have worked very hard for your career in the last 2 years. Perhaps you put in great effort to get a promotion, grow your own business, or take on more responsibility. Now, the sky is telling you that you need to strike the right balance between success and peace. For example, you may receive a very good job offer, but this offer may require you to live in another city. Or, as your career advances, the time you dedicate to your family may decrease. Conversely, some Sagittarians may have to make new arrangements in their careers due to family reasons. This process, which may seem difficult at first glance, will actually help you establish a more stable balance in both your work and personal life in the long run. Mercury's influence in Virgo is particularly supportive in terms of important career-related meetings, contracts, and official procedures. You can conduct job interviews, take on new tasks, and have important conversations with your managers about your future. If you are self-employed, you can gain new clients and increase your income by working more systematically. Since Mercury in Virgo will make you notice details, Sagittarians who act strategically will gain significant advantages during this period. The third important indicator of the eclipse is the T-square aspect pattern that Uranus, progressing in Gemini in your 7th house, makes to this eclipse. Uranus is the planet of surprises, liberation, technology, and sudden changes. The 7th house represents marriage, long-term relationships, partnerships, clients, and legal processes. Therefore, unexpected developments may occur in your relationships and partnerships. Single Sagittarians may find that someone very important enters their lives at an unexpected moment. Perhaps someone you meet at a business meeting, through social media, or during a move could become very important in your future. Sagittarians in relationships may take their relationships to a new level. Issues such as marriage decisions, plans to live together, or joint investments may come to the forefront. However, Uranus always works with surprises. Unexpected separations can occur in unstable relationships, but remember, North Node eclipses guide you on your true path of destiny. People leaving your life sometimes make room for more suitable people to enter. Therefore, it's important not to be afraid of change. Let's consider another example from real life. A Sagittarius who has worked with the same partner for many years constantly experiences disagreements but continues to do so to maintain order. During this eclipse, the partnership ends. At first, they feel great uncertainty. However, a few months later, they meet a much stronger and more reliable partner. Their business grows, and looking back, they realize that this separation was actually a great opportunity. Uranus sometimes changes the order first, then guides a person towards a more stable future. This T-square aspect also teaches you to balance home and relationships. You might decide to move with your partner. Responsibilities related to elderly family members may affect your relationship. You might reorganize your shared living space. These changes, which may seem intense at first, will help you build a more peaceful life in the long run. Significant developments may also occur in financial matters. Your income could increase through real estate transactions, home investments, financial support from family, or career advancements. Careful planning is crucial, especially for Sagittarians who want to make long-term investments. Since Mercury is in Virgo, examining every detail, carefully reading contracts, and avoiding hasty decisions will give you an advantage. In terms of health, emotional peace will directly affect your body. After the stress of the last 2 years, you may feel calmer and more balanced. Improving your home environment, spending more time in nature, and spending quality time with loved ones will contribute to your spiritual healing. The spiritual message of this eclipse is quite powerful. Family events of the last 2 years have matured you greatly. Perhaps you experienced some separations. Perhaps you took on new responsibilities. Perhaps you made sacrifices for loved ones. Now the universe is telling you, you deserve peace. As your inner confidence strengthens, you will be able to take more solid steps in the outside world. Let's consider one last example from life. A Sagittarius constantly rushing from work to home and home to work realizes they haven't been spending enough time with their family. During this eclipse, they change their work routine, begin spending more time with loved ones, and for the first time in their life, feel that true happiness comes not only from success, but also from shared moments. This eclipse's most beautiful gift might be precisely this, showing that success and peace are possible simultaneously. Dear Sagittarians, remember that you are the sign of hope, discovery, and freedom. Every experience you've had in the last 2 years has prepared you for your current strength. Now, fate is leading you into a new era built on much stronger foundations in your family life, career, and relationships. Don't dwell on the past. Courageously seize the opportunities that come your way. Moving, establishing a new home, making important family decisions, or opening a new chapter in your career. All of these are preparing you for a happier future. You have a crucial period ahead of you that will shape not just a few weeks, but the next 2 years. Every conscious step you take, every solid relationship you build, and every sound plan you make can provide you with security and peace for many years to come. The sky is telling you this. True success is being strong in the outside world and having a heart filled with peace when you return home. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If this commentary gave you hope and you found important messages for yourself, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Sagittarius or have a Sagittarius rising sign. May the guidance of the sky illuminate your path, and may the lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th bring you a peaceful home, strong family ties, a successful career, loving relationships, and all the beautiful things your heart desires. Until we meet again in the next horoscope commentary, stay with love, health, and hope. Dear Scorpio and those with Scorpio rising, sometimes life's biggest surprises come precisely when you're starting to lose hope. A long-awaited love, the recognition of a talent you've cultivated for years, joyful news about your child, or a brand new beginning that will bring renewed excitement to your life. The North Node lunar eclipse, occurring on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, is opening the door to exactly such a period. This is no ordinary lunar eclipse. You are at a crucial turning point where you will finally reap the rewards of your experiences, efforts, and patience over the past 2 years. Perhaps until now you've wondered, why is everything delayed? Why can't I achieve the happiness I desire? Maybe you postponed some dreams, gave up on some relationships, or put your talents in the background, but now the sky is preparing to smile upon you again. I especially recommend watching this video to the end, because even one of the details I will explain may help you understand the important developments you will experience in the coming months before they even happen. If you enjoy following the guidance of the sky, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's explore together what doors this powerful North Node lunar eclipse, taking place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, will open for those born under the sign of Scorpio or with a Scorpio rising. Dear Scorpios, this eclipse is happening in your 5th house. In astrology, the 5th house represents love, romantic relationships, children, creativity, hobbies, artistic endeavors, performing on stage, entrepreneurship, and everything that excites the heart. It is also the house of happiness, joy of life, and the inner child. Therefore, more joy, excitement, and inspiration may enter your life in the coming weeks. You may begin to reap the rewards of the efforts you have put in over the past 2 years, especially in your love life, matters related to children, or personal projects. North Node eclipses are special times when fate guides a person onto a new path. Therefore, the developments you will experience in the coming period will not be just temporary events. Some may form the foundation of the next 2 years. For single Scorpios, a very special encounter may occur. What initially seems like an ordinary meeting could eventually develop into a serious relationship. You may experience feelings your heart hasn't felt in a long time. If you are in a relationship, you can make new decisions together and take your relationship to the next level. Plans for engagement, marriage, or having children may come to the forefront. Let's consider a real-life example. A Scorpio who has been focused solely on their work for a long time has completely put love on the back burner. They reluctantly attend an event invited by a friend and meet the love of their life there. Initially, they think it's just a casual conversation, but over time they realize that this meeting holds a very important place in their destiny. This eclipse can bring similar, beautiful encounters. For Scorpios who already have children, there may be positive developments. You may receive news that will make you proud, such as successes in your child's education, opportunities to showcase their talents, or other such positive events. Supportive influences may also be at play for those who want to have more children. Of course, these matters depend on individual circumstances, but the sky carries symbols that support the desire to expand the family and developments in this area. The 5th house also represents creativity. Perhaps you'll start writing a book you've been putting off for years. Maybe you'll find the courage to paint, get involved with music, create content on social media, or start your own business. If you have a talent that has been waiting to be discovered until now, this eclipse can make it visible. Everything you've learned in the last 2 years can now be transformed into production. One of the most important indicators of this eclipse is that Mercury, which is conjunct the Sun in Virgo in your 11th house, is in opposition to the eclipse. The 11th house represents friendships, social circles, teamwork, projects, and future goals. You may need to strike a balance between what your heart desires on one hand and the expectations of your environment on the other. Perhaps your friends will tell you to choose a safe path, but you will want to pursue a different dream. Perhaps your social circle will offer different opinions about a relationship, but your own heart will give the best answer. Since Mercury is in Virgo, you will be able to make logical analyses. But the eclipse in Pisces reminds you that you should also listen to your intuition. Let's consider another example from life. A Scorpio who has long wanted to start their own business keeps postponing their decision because of people around them saying, "Don't take risks." During this eclipse, they meet the right people and start a new project together. This venture, which starts small, eventually turns into a much greater success than they expected. Because sometimes a person's greatest luck is meeting the right people with the same goal. The conjunction of Mercury and the Sun also indicates that you can reorganize your social circle. True friends and those who only have relationships for their own gain can be separated. While your bonds with people who truly support you strengthen, those who drain your energy may naturally leave your life. Although this process may seem sad at first, in the long run, it will bring you a much more peaceful social environment. The third important indicator of the eclipse is the T-square aspect pattern formed by Uranus in Gemini in your 8th house. Uranus represents surprises, liberation, sudden changes, and unexpected developments. The 8th house describes shared income, inheritance matters, loans, investments, spouses' earnings, taxes, and psychological transformation. Therefore, you may experience significant changes both financially and emotionally. You might receive an unexpected payment. A long-awaited loan may be approved. There may be new developments in your joint investments. Some of you may receive positive news regarding your spouse's work. Others may experience great relief by paying off long-standing debts. Uranus always works unexpectedly. Therefore, you need to be open to surprises. However, T-square aspects can initially create pressure. You may need to balance love and happiness on one hand and financial responsibilities on the other. For example, you may need to make financial plans while starting a new relationship. Or you may have to consider your future while making a significant expenditure for your child. These pressures are not meant to scare you, but to help you make more sound decisions. The 8th house also represents spiritual transformation. The disappointments you experienced in the last 2 years may no longer affect you as much. You may learn to trust, share, and ask for support when needed. Old fears you carried within may begin to be replaced by stronger self-confidence. In financial matters, joint investments, insurance, banking transactions, and long-term plans become particularly important. Since Mercury is in Virgo, carefully examining details, reading contracts, and making accurate calculations will be a great advantage. Scorpios who act strategically rather than making hasty decisions can benefit greatly from this period. In terms of career, you can seize important opportunities through your social network. You may start a new job on a friend's recommendation or experience a major career leap thanks to someone you met at an organization. There are particularly supportive influences for Scorpios who work on digital platforms, create creative projects, and communicate with people. In your family life, more happiness and sharing may take center stage. You can have enjoyable gatherings with your loved ones and put long-delayed vacation plans into action. You may remember again that life is not just about work. Taking time for yourself, being with people who make you happy, and pursuing your hobbies will nourish your soul. The spiritual message of this eclipse is very powerful. You are one of the most transformed signs of the Zodiac. Every event you've experienced in the last 2 years has matured you a little more. Now you know much better what you want, what you deserve, and which people should stay in your life. Now the sky is teaching you to smile again, to be excited again, and to dream again. Let's consider one last example from life. A Scorpio who has lived with constant responsibilities for many years never takes time for themselves. During this eclipse, they restart an old hobby. This process, which begins with a small step, eventually brings both new friendships and new job opportunities. Because when a person turns to areas where they are happy, life begins to open new doors for them. Dear Scorpios, remember that this eclipse brings you not only new opportunities, but also the rewards of the past 2 years. Don't be afraid to listen to your heart. Don't give up on loving, creating, sharing, and dreaming, because you have a crucial period ahead of you that will shape not just a few weeks, but the next 2 years. The people who enter your life, the projects that begin, and the emotional developments you experience can carry you to a completely different future. The sky is telling you this. Happiness is not a coincidence. It is the result of courageous steps taken at the right time. During this period, trust the guidance of both your heart and your intuition. Because sometimes fate can change a person's entire life with a single encounter, a single idea, or a single courageous decision. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If this commentary gave you hope and you found important messages for yourself, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Scorpio or have a Scorpio rising sign. May the guidance of the sky illuminate your path, and may the lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th bring you true love, creativity, abundance, powerful transformations, and all the beautiful things your heart desires. Until we meet again in the next horoscope commentary, stay with love, health, and hope. Dear Aquarius and those with Aquarius rising, are you receiving long-awaited financial news? Is a project you've worked hard for finally paying off? Or is life telling you it's time to recognize your own worth? The North Node lunar eclipse on August 28th at 4 degrees Pisces is a powerful celestial event that will answer these very questions. This is no ordinary lunar eclipse. This eclipse will bring to light the results of the financial and spiritual challenges you've faced over the past 2 years, showing you which areas you've been working towards and where you need to turn a new page. Perhaps you've experienced uncertainty regarding your income over the last 2 years. Perhaps you felt you weren't receiving the rewards for your efforts. Perhaps you made an investment, changed jobs, or had to question your self-worth. Now, the sky is telling you it's time for a reward. Therefore, I strongly recommend watching this video to the end, because even one of the details I will explain could help you understand the important developments you will experience in the coming months. If you want to regularly follow the guidance of the sky and learn how eclipses and planetary movements affect your life, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's examine together what doors this powerful North Node lunar eclipse, which will take place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, will open for those with Aquarius sun sign and Aquarius rising. Dear Aquarians, this eclipse is taking place in your second house. In astrology, the second house represents personal earnings, salary, savings, financial security, the values we possess, and most importantly, our sense of self-worth. So this eclipse is not only about the money in your pocket, but also carries very important messages about how valuable you see yourself. Because a person first realizes their own worth, and then life begins to give them the value they deserve. The financial experiences you have had in the last 2 years have actually taught you not only how to earn money, but also how to demand the true reward for your labor. Now, this process is beginning to bear fruit. North Node eclipses are eclipses that move destiny forward. Therefore, you may experience significant changes in your income over the coming weeks and months. You might receive a salary increase. A new job opportunity may arise. If you are self-employed, your customer base may increase. You may receive a long-awaited payment. Some of you may create a second source of income. Others may turn a hobby into a source of income. The seeds you planted in the last 2 years are now beginning to sprout. Let's consider an example from real life. An Aquarius who has worked at the same company for many years feels they deserve much more for their work, but doesn't dare express it. During this eclipse, a meeting with their manager results in a significant salary increase, or they receive a much better offer from a different company. This eclipse could be the time for many Aquarians to reap the rewards of their labor. Another example could be an Aquarius who runs their own business. They have been creating content on social media for a long time, but haven't been earning the desired income. After this eclipse, they form the right partnership, develop a new project, and their income unexpectedly begins to increase. Because the second house represents not only salary, but also the ability to turn one's talents into income. One of the most notable indicators of this eclipse is Mercury's opposition to the Sun in Virgo in your eighth house. The eighth house represents shared income, spouses' earnings, loans, investments, inheritance matters, insurance, taxes, and financial partnerships. You may need to strike a significant balance between your own earnings and shared resources. For example, you might make a new investment decision with your spouse. Buying a house, taking out a loan, or making a major financial plan might come up. Some of you might pay off a long-standing debt. Some of you may experience a significant increase in shared income. Since Mercury is in Virgo, calculating budgeting and carefully examining the details will give you a great advantage. Aquarius individuals who act strategically rather than hastily during this period can achieve significant financial gains. Let's consider another example from real life. An Aquarius has been saving little by little for a long time. During this eclipse, a very good investment opportunity comes their way. They first research, get expert opinions, and then decide. Looking back a few years later, they see that they made one of the best financial decisions of their life. The sky advises you to grow consciously, not to take unplanned risks. Since the eighth house also represents psychological transformation, you may experience significant awareness in emotional matters as well as financial ones. Perhaps you have constantly worried about money until now. Perhaps you missed many opportunities because of the fear of, what if it doesn't work out? This eclipse can teach you to develop an abundance mindset, because true abundance begins in the mind first. The third important indicator of the eclipse is the T-square aspect that Uranus transiting Gemini in your fifth house makes to this eclipse. Uranus represents surprises, technology, liberation, and unexpected developments. The fifth house, on the other hand, describes love, children, creativity, hobbies, entrepreneurship, and the enjoyable aspects of life. Therefore, an unexpected creative idea could open a new source of income for you. A hobby could turn into profit. Content you produce on digital platforms could grow. Your artistic or creative work could receive more attention than you expected. For example, let's consider an Aquarius who has been taking photos purely for pleasure for a long time. A friend shares their work on social media, and then professional offers start coming in, or they start selling handmade products online and quickly earn a regular income. Uranus works exactly like this. Sometimes people achieve their greatest rewards when doing what they enjoy most. Surprising developments can also occur in your love life. Single Aquarians may start a new relationship unexpectedly. This person could be creative, free-spirited, and bring a different perspective to your life. Aquarius individuals in relationships may make financial plans for the future with their partners. Joint investments, buying a house, or developing a joint project could come up. However, T-square aspects can initially create some pressure. While you may want to increase your income, your expenses may increase. You may need to budget for expenses related to children, hobbies, or things you enjoy. Although it may seem challenging at first, with proper planning, you can successfully manage all these processes. Remember, Uranus doesn't work to scare you, but to show your true potential by pushing you outside the norm. This eclipse will also create a major transformation in your sense of self-worth. Perhaps for years you have compared yourself to others. Perhaps you thought, I'm not successful enough. Now the sky is reminding you of your own power. You are a sign that can think differently, generate innovative ideas, and see the future. These qualities can bring you both material and spiritual gains in the coming period. There are also significant opportunities in terms of career. Aquarius individuals working in fields such as technology, the internet, digital projects, education, consulting, social media, and creativity may experience unexpected developments. New projects, new clients, and new collaborations may come to the fore. You may begin to reap the rewards of the work you have patiently carried out for the past 2 years. In family life, important conversations about financial matters may take place. The family budget may be reorganized. Buying or selling a house, investments, or joint expenses may be planned. Open communication and listening to everyone's opinions will make the process easier to manage. Spiritually, this eclipse will teach you the biggest lesson. True wealth is not just the numbers in your bank account. True wealth lies in being aware of one's own abilities, valuing one's labor, and being grateful for what one has. Every material experience you've had in the last 2 years has actually made you a more conscious, stronger, and more productive person. Now it's time to reap the rewards of this maturity. Let's consider one last example from life. An Aquarius has been saying for years, one day I will start my own business, but hasn't dared. During this eclipse, they start with a small step. First, they work weekends, then the number of customers increases, and finally, they start their own business. A few years later, looking back, they realized that what changed their life wasn't a great miracle, but the courageous first step they took at the right time. This is exactly how North Node eclipses work. They free people from their fears and bring them to their true potential. Dear Aquarians, remember that you are the sign of the future. You can see opportunities that others haven't yet seen, discover different paths, and easily bring innovations into your life. In the coming period, you may experience very important developments both financially and in terms of your self-worth. Don't hesitate to ask for the rewards of your labor, trust your new ideas, don't underestimate the opportunities that come your way, because sometimes what changes a person's entire life is a single right decision, a single creative idea, or a single courageous step. You have a crucial period ahead of you that will shape not just a few weeks, but the next 2 years. Every conscious step you take, every right investment you make, and every new project you develop will carry you to a much stronger future. The sky is telling you this. True abundance begins to flow into your life when you know your own worth. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If this commentary gave you hope and you found important messages for yourself, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Aquarius or have Aquarius rising. May the guidance of the sky illuminate your path, and may the lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th bring you abundance, prosperity, strong gains, creative opportunities, peace, and all the beautiful things your heart desires. Until we meet again in the next horoscope commentary, stay with love, health, and hope. Dear Pisces and those with Pisces rising, are you ready for one of the most important turning points in your life? You're very close to understanding why you experienced all the struggles, patience, tears, hopes, and waiting of the past 2 years. Because the North Node lunar eclipse, which will take place on August 28th at 4 degrees of your sign, is no ordinary celestial event. This eclipse is like the first page of a new chapter that destiny has written for you. Some of you will give your lives a completely new direction. Some of you will seize the great opportunity you have been waiting for years, and some of you will leave your old identity behind and continue on your path as a completely different person. If you have recently been thinking, why is my life changing so much? Why have some people left my life? Why am I constantly going through different tests? Know that there was a reason for all of this. Now the universe is preparing to reward you for all that has happened. Therefore, I especially recommend that you watch this video to the end, because every detail I will explain can help you understand the events you will experience in the coming months from today. If you want to regularly follow the guidance of the sky and learn how eclipses and planetary movements affect your life, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell. Now let's examine together what doors this powerful North Node lunar eclipse, which will take place on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces, will open for those with Pisces sun sign and rising sign. Dear Pisces, this eclipse is taking place in your first house. In astrology, the first house represents a person's identity, character, appearance, life direction, beginnings, decisions, and how they appear to the world. Eclipses in the first house are one of the most powerful turning points in life, because now what is changing is not just your environment or circumstances, but directly you. Every experience you have had in the last 2 years has prepared you for who you are today. Perhaps you were very tired, perhaps some of your dreams were postponed, perhaps the people you trusted changed, perhaps you experienced unexpected separations. But all of this happened not to weaken you, but to reveal your true strength. Now, with this eclipse, a brand new identity, a brand new life, and a brand new beginning await you. North Node eclipses are eclipses that guide people on their path of destiny. Therefore, the decisions you make in the coming weeks and months can affect not only today, but also the next 2 years or even longer. Some of you will start a new job, Some of you will move. Some of you will start your own business. Some of you will get married or embark on a very important relationship in your life. Some of you will finally make a decision you've been afraid to make for years. The most important thing in this process will be leaving behind the old Pisces and becoming a new Pisces who confidently continues their life. Let's consider an example from real life. There is a Pisces who has been working in the same job for many years but is unhappy. Every morning on their way to work, they feel a great unease inside, but because they are afraid of change, they continue with the same routine for years. During this eclipse period, they receive an unexpected offer. At first, they are afraid because it is not easy to leave the routine they are used to. But when they dare to take this opportunity, they see that they are both happier and more successful a few months later. This is exactly how first house eclipses work. First, it tests a person's courage, then it guides them on the right path. Since the first house also represents outward appearance, many Pisces may want to make changes in a physical sense as well. You might change your hairstyle, switch to a new style, start exercising, pay more attention to your health, or develop lifestyle habits that make you feel better. The change in your appearance will actually be a reflection of the great transformation that has begun within you. One of the most striking indicators of this eclipse is the opposition between Mercury, which is conjunct the Sun in Virgo in your seventh house, and the eclipse itself. The seventh house represents marriage, long-term relationships, partnerships, clients, and all important one-on-one relationships. On one side, there is you. On the other side are the people in your life. Therefore, in the coming period, you will need to strike an important balance between the questions, what do I want? And what does the other person expect from me? Perhaps for years you have given up your own desires to make others happy. Perhaps you have constantly made sacrifices. Perhaps you have remained silent where you should have said no. This eclipse is telling you that it is now necessary to put your own life at the center. This is not selfishness. It is about establishing healthy boundaries and protecting your own worth, because a person who neglects themselves cannot truly benefit others. Thanks to Mercury's influence in Virgo, communication comes to the forefront in relationships. Long unspoken issues can be openly discussed. Misunderstandings can be resolved. For single Pisces, a serious relationship may begin. Those in relationships may decide to get married or concretize their future plans together. However, it's also possible for relationships not built on solid foundations to go their separate ways. Remember, North Node eclipses guide you towards your true path of destiny. People leaving your life sometimes make room for the right people to enter. Let's consider another example from real life. There's a Pisces who has been constantly compromising in their relationship for many years. They always live to make the other person happy. During this eclipse, they express their own needs for the first time. Their relationship either strengthens or they realize it's not working and make a courageous decision. In both cases, they are the winner. Because now their life is governed by conscious choices, not fears. The third important indicator of the eclipse is the T-square aspect that Uranus, progressing in Gemini in your fourth house, makes to this eclipse. Uranus is the planet of surprises, sudden changes, freedom, and new beginnings. The fourth house represents family, home, living space, roots, and inner peace. Therefore, unexpected developments may occur in your home life. You may decide to move, you may buy a new house, you may renovate your home. Significant changes may occur within the family. Some of you may start living in a different city or country. At first glance, these changes might surprise you because Uranus disrupts established routines. However, in the long run, you'll see that these changes lead to a much happier life. For example, a Pisces who has lived in the same city for years might have to move to another city for work. Initially, they're upset, but thanks to their new environment, new friends, and new opportunities, they begin to experience one of the best periods of their life. Uranus sometimes takes people out of their comfort zone and leads them to true happiness. This T-square aspect may also require you to strike a balance between family and personal goals. While you may want to forge your own path, you might also feel a sense of responsibility towards your family. Although it may seem challenging at first, with the right communication, you can balance both areas. The important thing is to use both your logic and your intuition when making decisions. You're also experiencing strong influences in terms of career. First house eclipses change a person's standing in society. People may start seeing you differently. You may become more visible, take on more responsibility, and attract attention with your courage. Especially for Pisces who want to start their own business, undertake individual ventures, or build their personal brand, very important opportunities may arise. A project you've been preparing for a long time may finally come to fruition. In financial matters, new beginnings are prominent. You may change your income model, seize new business opportunities, or increase your earnings through partnerships. However, since Mercury is in Virgo, you should carefully read every contract, check every detail, and avoid making hasty decisions. As long as you act strategically, the sky is supporting you. In terms of health, it's a time for renewal, both physically and mentally. Taking better care of yourself, developing regular lifestyle habits, reducing stress, and listening to your body's needs will greatly benefit you. First house eclipses can boost a person's life energy. You may feel stronger, more motivated, and more hopeful. From a spiritual perspective, the message of this eclipse is very profound. Every event you've experienced in the last 2 years has prepared you for your current strong self. Perhaps you cried a lot, perhaps you waited a long time, perhaps you made many sacrifices, but now you are beginning to see the meaning of all this. You are one of the most intuitive signs of the Zodiac. Now, this intuition will guide you on the right path. Don't underestimate your inner voice. Listen to what your heart tells you, because during this eclipse, your intuition may work more strongly than ever. Let's consider one last example from real life. There is a Pisces who has been living according to the expectations of others for many years, always trying to please those around them, postponing their own dreams. During this eclipse, for the first time, they ask themselves, "What do I want?" This seemingly small question changes their whole life. They start a new job, decide to live in a new city, and begin to realize the dreams they have carried within them for years. A few years later, when they look back, they realize that what changed their destiny was a single courageous decision. This is exactly how North Node eclipses work. They free people from their fears and lead them to the path of true life. Dear Pisces, remember that you are the protagonist of this eclipse. Every test, every weight, and every change you've experienced over the past 2 years has prepared you for this moment. Now it's time to take control of your own life. Trust yourself. Don't be afraid of new beginnings. Don't underestimate the opportunities that come into your life, because sometimes a person's entire destiny can change with a single courageous step. As you change, your environment will change, your relationships will change, your career will change, and most importantly, your perspective on life will change. You have a crucial period ahead of you that will shape not just a few weeks, but the next 2 years. Every conscious step you take, every courageous decision you make, and every right choice you make will lead you to a much happier, stronger, and more peaceful future. The sky is telling you this: true transformation doesn't begin in the outside world, but the moment a person decides to change themselves. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If this commentary gave you hope, if you found important messages for yourself, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones who are Pisces or have a Pisces rising sign. May the guidance of the heavens illuminate your path, and may the lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th bring you courageous beginnings, peace, abundance, strong relationships, success, and all the beautiful things your heart desires. Until our next horoscope reading, stay with love, health, and hope.